I might have bitten off more than I can chew this time. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today is a video that I did not plan on making, and then I had a silly little idea. So I'm going to talk you through my TBR for August, and I'm going to attempt, as you probably saw from the title of this video, a 31 in 31. Okay, so what is a 31 in 31? It is where you read or try to read 31 books in 31 days. I have got 3 humongous stacks of books next to me, which are the books that I've chosen for this, and I'm going to attempt this in August. So for anyone that doesn't know, I'm a teacher, so I don't work at all during August. August is the month off, and I thought that the best thing to do with the 1 month of the year where I don't have any pressures on me is to try and attempt a reading challenge. So the inspiration for this has come from a few different places. I've seen Olivia Savannah, Olivia's Catastrophe do this a few times. I also saw a video from Brie at 4 Paws in a Book where she talked about a 30 in 30 that she had completed, and I will leave both of them linked below in any relevant videos. And I also saw Chloe from Chloe Reads Books. So I'm filming this at the end of June, and Chloe is currently attempting a 30 in 30 for June. Obviously August has got 31 days in it, so I'm going to attempt a 31 in 31. And just seeing all of those guys like getting so many books read just really inspired me to give it a go. And there's absolutely no way I could do this in any other month of the year. So we're going to give it a try in August. So how am I doing this? What are the rules? Now, some people do this, lots of people do this in lots of different ways. And obviously I'm not like judging anyone for the way that they do this. What I'm not doing is just choosing the shortest or the easiest 31 reads from my TBR. What I've done, which is where we might fall down here, is I've just chosen the next 31 reads off of my TBR. My TBR is pretty small. I'll put a picture up here of what my shelves look like now that I've taken these books off for my August TBR. The books you can see at the top, the little stack there, is my July TBR, and then I think there are about 2 books left on the middle shelf, and that's my entire TBR that's left after these have come off. So if I manage this, I mean if, it's a big if, we'll talk about that in a minute. If I manage this, my TBR will nearly be at 0 by the end of August. Now, I'm not someone that particularly wants a 0 TBR, that's not what I've been aiming for. I like to have a TBR of sort of 30 to 50 books maximum, so I've got some choice but it doesn't feel too overwhelming. And also for me, I've said this before, like my reading tastes seem to change and evolve quite quickly, and so I don't want a book really to be on my TBR for any longer than 6 months. Otherwise, by the time I get to it, I'm not as excited to read it, or I'm not excited to read it at all, or my reading taste has changed. And yeah, I just kind of want to get to my books as soon as possible. And again, I've said this before, like as long as you were happy with the size of your TBR, that is all that matters, and I'm not judging anybody at all. So which books have I chosen? I'm going to whip through them. I'm obviously not going to tell you about each book because we'll be here literally for months. Plus also obviously you will see me read as many of these books as I can in August, and you'll see, you know, my August vlogs will come up. I always split August into at least 2 videos because there's always so much content because I'm out and about doing stuff. We might have to go for 3 videos this year, but we'll see how we go. So I've just picked the next 31 books off my TBR, 2 from my reread challenge, and then the rest are from my unread shelf. This works out at about 10,000 pages. So I'm going to need to read about 350 pages per day to keep on top of this. When I'm at school, I aim for, in term time, I aim for about 150 pages a day, which I usually just about manage. I feel like 350 is going to be a stretch. I don't feel like it's impossible. I think where I might fall down is being able to sustain it over the 31 days. But we're going to give it a good go and see what happens. So let's get into these books. So like I said, these are literally the first 2 are my rereads for the month. And I'll leave my reread challenge in the description if you want to see that. And then the rest are just the next books on the TBR. So we have Hollowpox by Jessica Townsend and Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins. I just need to be careful I'm stacking these to my left because this is also pretty much the order I plan to read them in. So yeah, then Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins. Those are the 2 rereads. Then we have a Halloween book, or a kind of autumn book in August, and that is The XX by Erin Sterling. The Girl with a Pearl Earring by Tracy Chevalier, also a reread, although I've not read it for literally years. Library of the Dead by Glenn Cooper. This was a random charity shop find that I just thought sounded a bit interesting. It's a bit Da Vinci Cody, I think. I'm already getting into book reviewer mode, so let's try and skip past that. We've got The Dry by Jane Harper. Quite intimidated by this book. I've heard it's quite slow. Lots of people love it. I'm scared I won't like it. But anyway, it's on this TBR. The Little Coffee Shop of Kabul by Deborah Rodriguez. Again, this was another random charity shop book and one I've been really looking forward to. It seems very cozy. Why Did You Stay by Rebecca Humphreys. This is a non-fiction about coercive control. What You Are Looking For Is in the Library by Michiko Aoyama. I hope I've said that correctly. It's got a black cat on the cover and it's about library books. How could this not be for me? This is also one of the shorter ones. As you will see, there are several that are not short. I'm Mona Lisa by Natasha Solomons. My boss at work bought me this one. And The Gender Games by Juno Dawson. I'm pretty sure Charlotte Books and Bargains sent me this one. I'm fairly sure. I can't find a gift note. I think this came from her. I think she sent me this for Christmas. Okay, then we're on to the next stack. Watch Her Fall by Erin Kelly. Erin Kelly wrote one of my favourite books of last year. And this is another one from her. It's a thriller set in a ballet school, I think, something like that. Really, really cool cover. Love that cover. The Cloisters by Katie Hayes. This one, another gorgeous cover. Quite intimidated by this because I've heard it's quite slow, but we will give it a try. Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone by Benjamin Stevenson. I saw quite a few people have really, really enjoyed this book. I feel like this will be one of the quicker reads, luckily, because like I said, I've got a few slower ones in here, and I also really, really enjoy this cover. Plus, if I like it, there's a sequel. So yeah, we've got that one. Then I've got Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. This was recommended directly to me by Mel, a book fiend named Mel, so I'm really intrigued to pick this up and give this a try. It's quite short, but I also feel like it might be a little bit on the slower side. Do Your Worst by Rosie Dannon. I think that Chloe sent me this for Christmas. I loved The Roommate by Rosie Dannon, but then I DNF'd the sequel to that. So this is the kind of make or break one for me with Rosie Dannon. And again, I think this is another witchy one from the cover. It says on the back, on the front even, break curses, not hearts. It's a little bit of romance. Then we have a chunker, although I feel like I might read it quite quickly. Ooh, and it's stuck to the book underneath. That is Where Sleeping Girls Lie by Farida Abike Ayemedi. Charlotte bought me this when I went to visit her earlier in the year. And, you know, she's chunky, but I feel like I'm probably going to read this fairly quickly. Then we have the one that was stuck to that one, and that is The Shelf by Helly Acton. Again, I picked this up in a charity shop when I went to see Charlotte. We've also got 3 books in one. So we've got The Early Years at Mallory Towers. This is the first 3 years. It's the first year, second term and third years or something. First term at Mallory Towers, second form at Mallory Towers, third year at Mallory Towers. I am counting this as 3. Tell me if you think that's cheating, because they are 3 separate books. This is just a bind up, and I will probably read them at separate times in the month as kind of like palette cleansers. But so that's 3 in 1. Then we have Sister by Rosamund Lupton, who wrote one of my favourite thrillers of all time, which is 3 Hours. I will be rereading that later on in the year, and this is another book of hers. This is a very beaten up copy that I got in a charity shop again when I was with Charlotte. Then I've got 30 Things I Love About Myself by Rajika Sanghani. I picked this up at random in a Waterstones when I was with Charlotte, as I did the next one, and I just think it looks really cool. It's about a woman who goes to prison and is then writing a list of ways that she wants to improve her life, I think. Something like that anyway. And then the last one in this stack is Bandit Queens by Parini Shroff. Again, this cover. And this looks like it says, read this book, you will absolutely love it. Zoe Ball, Radio 2 Book Club. And it was also longlisted for the Women's Prize for Fiction last year. And yeah, we will see what I think. So that's the second stack, which is now leaning. Let me just correct that. And then the third and final stack, A Haunting on the Hill by Elizabeth Hand, and it returns to the world of Shirley Jackson. Again, my boss lent me this, so I need to read this and get it back to her. The Death of Vivek Oji by Akwaeke Emezi. This is a short one, but this is one of those ones that was gifted to me as well. Who was lovely? Yeah, lovely Laura sent me this. This is a short one, but it's one I'm quite intimidated by because I've loved so many other things that Akwaeke Emezi has written, plus the subject matter. I feel like it's going to be quite intense. So we'll see how we go with that one. Then I've got the Teddy and Bara Show by William Tinkham. I was very kindly gifted this one and the next one by Your Paper Quest, and I will link that video in the description. So we've got this one, which is set in a circus, and we've got a pair of runaways, I think, and I think the mob's going to be involved and all of that kind of stuff. It looks really fun. And they also sent me California Hustle even, by Jeffrey Messiano. And again, this is kind of a con artists in the sunshine, that kind of read. I feel like this one might be quite a quick read. Then we have How to Stop Time by Matt Haig. This is another lend from my boss. And I've read the Comfort book by him, but I've never read one of his actual full novels. And then I have an ARC, which is due out in September, so I need to read it in August. This is When Harry Was Here by Dustin Thau. I was very kindly sent this by Book Break in exchange for an honest review. And again, it's got a gorgeous cover. They also sent this to me with a press pack that included tissues. And on the tissues it says, tears are, you will definitely cry, something like that. A little bit scared for that reason, but I'm excited to get into this. And then the final one is one that Charlotte sent me recently, and that is The Holiday Escape by Heidi Swain. She usually tells me, Charlotte, that I'm not allowed to read Heidi Swain because Heidi Swain is her favourite author in case I don't like it. But apparently I'm allowed to read this one because it's a standalone. Okay, those are the 31 books that I'm going to attempt in August. Do I think I can do it? No. I think last summer I read 25 books in August. And we'll see. I want to do it just to see if I can. I also want to see and try and push myself to read like as many books off my TBR as possible this summer and kind of clear the decks ready for the kind of last part of the year. But yeah, mostly, like I said, I just want to see if I can give it a try. I have set up a StoryGraph challenge. If you want to join it, you can. I think there's 4 or 5 of us in the group at the moment. Absolutely no pressure to whatsoever, but I'll leave it linked in the description if you want to join in. And obviously follow along in August to see how I do. Because yeah, we're going to give this, like I said, a good college try. And we'll see how far I can get. I think that's it for today. That's probably enough waffling. I've explained what I'm doing. I've explained the rules. 350 pages a day. Sounds like quite a lot, doesn't it? But we will see how we go in August. If you got to this point in the video, leave me a book stack emoji because I have 3 massive stacks of books right here to get through during August. Please subscribe if you would like more of this chaos, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks everyone. Bye.